brain's gonna explode. My brain's gonna explode. There's something sinister afoot, absolutely.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Slightly Biased Show here at the incredible and beautiful Haymaker Studios, Haymaker Network. If you're not subscribed, folks, link down in the description. We got a lot to talk about today, man. Watching that intro video, just with the playoffs on, we used to fight in wars. It used to be the Mavericks are on to the Mavericks are on to the fight, and now it's the Mavericks won the lottery. That's what gets us excited. We'll talk a little bit about the draft lottery. We'll talk about the draft a little bit. We'll talk about playoffs. We'll talk about YouTuber solves Rubik's Cube in fastest free fall. We love Rubik's Cubes here at the Haymaker Network. If you guys missed whatever I was on House of Haymaker last week, Ben wants me to lock me in a room and make me do am I a prisoner here? Wants me to lock me in the room and wants me to solve a Rubik's Cube. I can't leave the room until I solve a Rubik's Cube. We'll see. Speaking of House of Haymaker, have you seen House of Haymaker yet? It's Haymaker's newest show every weekday at noon on the Haymaker Network. That's where we are. It features the whole cast of Haymaker talking Dow sports, all sports, sports adjacent, and maybe we don't even do sports. It's whatever we want to talk about. Today, Nick Van Exel stopped by and talked NBA playoffs with Skin and talked football with Jeff Kavanaugh. House of Haymakers every weekday at noon. I'll be here tomorrow. There's me right there. I'll be here tomorrow, and who knows who else might show up. Dirk, maybe. Who knows? Barack Obama, actually. Fan of the show. I heard that. I don't know if it was real or not, but someone told me that. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Make sure you guys like the stream if you haven't already. Even if you are watching retroactively, it still goes a long way. And if you're listening on audio platforms, make sure you leave a 5-star review. Shake it slightly. No, thank you. Slightly, I named my daughter after you. Okay. That's strange, but that's actually unique. You know, that's actually a unique thing. She might grow up and appreciate that. Kavanaugh, the I like beer guy, maybe. Not sure. He might like beer. It's possible.
He likes beer.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't, right? Is it raining yet? It's raining every day whenever you're around me. Let me just tell you something. Yeah, the flag jersey. I'm wearing it every day, guys. I mean, you guys think I'm not a man of my word? I am. Cooper Flag, Rookie of the Year, obviously. I'm wearing his jersey every day for the next 4 weeks. So far, so good. If you guys want to celebrate the Rookie of the Year, you can head over to fullydelusional.shop. Link down in the description, folks. Fullydelusional.shop. Buy yourself a shirt. Fullydelusional.shop. And I want to point this out real quick. This was sent in the chat today. Did y'all see the new Resident Evil trailer? I haven't, but I can't imagine this is in it. I can't imagine this is in it. Man, there's a lot going on here. So clearly AI footage of, I'm guessing that's supposed to be me. Now, let me just say this actually about this image. The hair is incredible. I'd say this is actually pretty accurate in terms of the hair, right? Everything else is where we start to get, a little looking buff. Yeah. Thank you. Me. This is not me. This is an AI photo. And I just now noticed the McDonald's Legend status card here.
Glad they got that Chime sponsorship in there.
True. Yeah. I mean, Jesus. Is that what we're on?
We're not anything but if we're not accurate, you know?
That's right. I mean, I don't even know. How am I supposed to wake up every morning? And this is like this is the stuff that gets sent to me regularly by my community, right? Like not a hate. This isn't a hater. This is a community member in my Discord.
Is this the sequel to The Whale?
This is. I guess this is the Resident Evil trailer. Is this? This looks like the dude from Dune.
That's definitely Dune, right?
Yeah.
Skarsgård.
Yeah, Skarsgård. I mean, that looks like it's him. I can tell you it's AI. You really have legend status at In-N-Out. If In-N-Out had some type of legend award program, I could potentially be there at legend. I'm not going to lie to you guys, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. Okay? But anyways, that's what's going on in my lovely Discord. The hair's incredible. I mean, if I got to talk to AI version of myself, I'd say, hey, man, how'd you get the curls? Right?
I wonder if we can get Brendan Fraser back for Slightly Whale.
Yeah, me and him. I think he died. Spoiler alert. Didn't he die in that movie?
Whoa. What did he die of?
I'm a guess obesity. Let's get into what we've got today. So I don't know. I've kind of vaguely touched on it on some of my, live streams during the games, but during the games, there's obviously games going on. So, I don't have a lot of time to sit down and give my focused thoughts and opinions on certain things. That's why we come here, right? I do want to talk about the 3-2-1 lottery because I have thought about it. I have kind of thought about it in over the last couple of days, and I've seen the graphics of what this actually would look like in practice with the odds for certain teams and stuff like that. And good God, Twitter's search function is so dreadfully bad. I'm trying to find. There's a graphic going around of what the 3-2-1 looks like in lottery odds. But Jesus Christ, I mean, you search something on Twitter, and who knows what's going to pop up. And you're lucky if it's not porn. If it's not porn, you lucked out. If it's not a snuff video of somebody getting brutally murdered, you've lucked out. This is just insanity.
A lot of still photos of Adam Silver.
Yeah, still photos of Adam. And again, that's lucky. That's you seriously, I mean, I still can't even find it. I hate the internet. The internet shouldn't exist anymore. And I know I'd be out of a job, but I don't care. I'm fine. I'll be homeless. It's fine with me. I think it's a good trade-off. I'll sacrifice that.
We'll build a stage for you. You'll just have to present it.
Yeah, that's good. That's actually great. Everybody has their own, and this is actually great here because everybody has their own like local podcaster, and that's the only thing that they can do. They go. It's like back in the day when movie theaters. That's how you had to get your newsreels. Was going to movie theaters once a night and watching it. So that's going to be it. It's going to be sports podcasters. So I'm actually here for that. I would like to be a steward of that. So anyways, the 3-2-1 lottery rules. I feel like this stuff doesn't get reported. It hasn't, nothing official yet, but I feel like this stuff doesn't get reported if, this stuff doesn't get reported unless it's happening. So here's the main problem I have with this is, first and foremost, the tweet in and of itself is 4 paragraphs long, the explainer tweet. But then there's a follow-up tweet that is also over the character limit on Twitter. I feel as though you shouldn't need this much explanation. People are not going to understand this. We talked about this on Tuesday. Do you realize how difficult it is to explain to your Peepaw and Meemaw that the game's on Amazon Prime? That in and of itself is already an incredible difficult task. Now all of a sudden I'm having to explain to them this new lottery system. 3-2-1. No, I know, Meemaw, I know that they had the worst record, but they actually have they actually are in the second group of odds. In the first group, they're ahead of them. They're actually in the second group. I know, Meemaw, they won 12 games. I know. But they actually have the 10th best odds. And the team that won 38 games and is the seventh worst record, they actually have the best odds, Meemaw. I know it's confusing, but this is just the way. Yeah, and I know that team was just in the playoffs, but they won the lottery. That's just how it goes. That's how it goes. So here's the graphic that I finally found and how it gets played out.
Ooh.
Worst record, second worst record, third worst record. Would have 5% chance at winning the lottery. The more I thought about this, though, I don't hate that. I've long banged the table of why do we have to bend over backwards for all of these terrible teams? Now, this is going in the complete opposite direction of that, obviously. But a lot of NBA fans have been doing anything to change the lottery means that this team and this team and this team's going to get fucked. And it's well, those teams have already been fucked for 20 years with the current rules in place. Those franchises have been bad for decades, right? We don't need to solve everything we don't need all of these overarching changes to help out these teams that are just poorly ran. That can't be what the NBA does. It's well, this team's horrible. They don't know what they're doing. They don't have an analytical department. They don't know how to scout anybody. So we have to bend over. You can't do that. Now, with this though, it worries me a tiny bit because I don't know what happens if you're just, hey man, guys who are even coming out of college who are, good prospects, viewed as good prospects. I won't say can't miss because it's always a dart throw, but good prospects. Sometimes these guys flame out for one reason or another. Injuries. Sometimes they check out mentally, whatever the case may be. They get to a bad situation and immediately it all goes downhill. Whatever the case may be, right? So those teams are just fucked. That's what this says. Those teams are just completely and totally done for. You could have a nightmare season and have the 8th pick in the next draft. That's why it's a little bit scary. Again, my whole stance on all of the lottery stuff has always been this. If you think it's such a gigantic problem, go extreme routes. Get rid of the draft. You can't do that because, dude, we have 45 paragraph long explanations on what the lottery system is. You can't do it. Just get rid of the draft. Or say, yeah, guys, whatever. Teams are going to tank. Teams are going to tank. Let's do the golden plan. I like that one. That one, to me, I warmed up to greatly. The moment you're eliminated from the playoffs, every win you get is points towards your draft position. Right? Now, yeah, of course, teams might tank to get to the bottom. Teams are already tanking. Teams tank from the moment the games start. They're horrible teams from the moment the season starts. This would at least give them some incentive to win during parts of the season, when right now there's zero incentive to win ever, right? No incentive to win whatsoever. But my problem with this, and this is my problem with all of these tanking solutions. Right now, the 11th worst team, right, as you can see here on the graphic, has 5.4% chance to win the lottery. Same as the worst team in the NBA. The 10th team has an 8.1% chance to win the lottery. Why on earth would you ever want to be in the play-in tournament? This is where I start to have problems with this. Why on earth would you ever want to be in the play-in tournament? But also, two, if I'm looking down the barrel of being the 8th seed, so in this instance here, unless I'm completely misunderstanding this, if you are in the 9-10 play-in game, why would you even want to win that? Why would you want to win that and potentially go and get curb stomped in the first round of the playoffs, right? If I'm the Phoenix, like hypothetically, if I'm the Phoenix Suns, and do the Suns even have their pick this year? I don't think they do. If I'm the Phoenix Suns, would I rather, and let's just say in this instance I have my pick, would I rather win the play-in games, make the play-in tournament, or make the NBA playoffs, and get curb stomped by the Oklahoma City Thunder in 4 games, or would I rather have a 5% chance at winning the lottery? I'd much rather have the 5% chance, just for my franchise. Actually, yeah, a better example of this is the Mavs from last year. They won the 9-10 play-in game, and then they lost the 8-9 play-in game. Or they lost the game to become the 8th seed. And obviously that put them in a position to win the lottery. But imagine if their odds after doing that were 1.8. In this new world, their odds would have been 5.4. That's not nothing. 5.4 is not nothing. So why would they have wanted to win that game at all? And as fans, we didn't want to win that game. That's already kind of there. If you're deep, it's like, I don't want to win this game. I want to be in the lottery. Loser's going to get curb stomped by the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're going to get curb stomped by the San Antonio Spurs. If you're in one of these play-in teams, this is what worries me about all these solutions. It's not the bottom of the league. It's that the problem this year, there's always horrible teams. There always will be. There's always horrible teams in every sport. Tanking's not really a massive thing in the NFL. Teams tank in the NFL. Teams are terrible in the NFL. Teams win 3 or 4 games in the NFL every year. MLB, tanking's not a thing at all. They have a lottery system, but tanking's not really a thing at all. Having a high MLB pick, yeah, it might be better, but that's just such a crapshoot that you have no idea. There's still teams that lose 100-plus games every year. There's always going to be bad teams. What the problem is right now in the NBA, and the big problem this year, was that there was 10 teams that were completely and totally tanking, and I mean tanking, every single game they played. And so a third of the league was completely unwatchable this year. And I mean unwatchable. And I don't care, Twitter, like, oh, there's always something. No, there's not, bro. I watch more basketball than probably 99.9% of the population on this planet. Let me tell you right now, it was horrible this year. It was horrible. A third of the league was unwatchable filth garbage. Oh, come on. You don't think it's cool watching Jemai Mashak? No, I don't. Believe it or not. I don't. Yeah, it's a fun thing. It's ball knowledge. And in 10 years, you're like Jemai Meshack. Remember when he played on the Grizzlies? Ball knower. I'm a ball. Remember when Tyler Smith got some burn for the Mavs? I'm a ball knower. Guess what? This shit sucked. It was horrible. Wasn't enjoyable. Awful slop garbage. Okay? That was the problem with the league this year. I can't help but feel like there's now a lot of incentive for half the league to be terrible. Am I missing? Why would you ever want to be in the play-in game? I guess maybe in certain years where it's like the top 2 seeds aren't very strong, we have a chance. But if I'm in the West and the Thunder and the Spurs are just probably going to be the 1 and 2 seed for the next however many years, why in the fuck would I ever want to make the playoffs?
This is a frivolous request, but play-in games need to die.
I agree. I agree that this, and I said this, that if they were to do something like this and flatten the odds or add more teams a lot, you have to get rid of the play-in tournament. Because it is a stain on the league if teams are actively trying to avoid it.
Do you know the sponsor of the play-in games?
Isn't it Dubai?
I don't remember, to be honest with you, but it's sponsored. We needed that.
Isn't it, was the Saudi Arabian Airlines?
United Emirates. UAE.
Yeah, isn't that? Oh, no, that's the in-season cup.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course. Who could forget that?
I don't know. I can't. The problem is we're missing the forest for the trees here, where it's like it's. Yes, there are bad teams. Sure, those teams are not very fun to watch. There's bad teams every year in every sport. You're not going to have 30 good teams. It doesn't work like that. But now you're giving incentive to teams that are okay to try and be bad. Or maybe the idea, or let me think about what could be going through Silver's bald brain. It's hard for me to think about that because obviously I'm not in those shoes. But let me try to think something. Hey, let's just embrace what this is. We're in a parity era, right? What, 7 straight years of new champions? A parity era, that's great. Let's look at the landscape of the league. We might be leaving that very soon. Thunder have a great chance and almost certainly, probably, I don't want to say certainly, probably will be our first repeat champion in nearly a decade. The Spurs are on their way. And guys, just watch Spurs games, watch Wemby, watch Dylan Harper. Guess what, guys? That team's going to be a nightmare for years. That team will be a dynasty, I'm willing to guarantee you, unless Wemby has a catastrophic injury, knock on wood. That team will win multiple championships, guaranteed. The Celtics aren't really. So maybe they're looking at it and they're like, you know what? If half the league is mid, let's replace bad with mid. Like, yeah, hey, there's not a lot of incentive for being horrible anymore because we're trying to take out. You don't want to be terrible because then you get in the relegation zone. Mid is fine. Yeah, you're not going to beat the Thunder in the playoffs. Just not going to beat them. But at least maybe you're watchable. Maybe that's the direction we're going here. Just like, hey, man, look, there's going to be teams are going to recognize it's going to be kind of like maybe the end of 2010s Warriors era where teams around the league were like, what's the point? What's the point of us doing all of these moves? We're not going to win. It's the Warriors, Rockets, and Cavs. And even then, people say that, and I think, well, the Raptors went for it, and it worked out for them. Worked out pretty well for them, actually. Pacers, if they draft Darren Peterson or Boozers, very underrated dynasty candidate. Yeah, that's not a bad shout either. That's not a bad shout at all. But yeah, I don't know. This is interesting. On one hand, I like the idea of the relegation zone because it does take away the incentive to be terrible, which is important. But the middle stuff, that's where you start to spook me out, man. Why on earth would I rather be why on earth would I want to be in the playing game? Why on earth would I want to be in the playing game? That's just my problem. There's no incentive to do it. You get an extra playoff game, cool. I get to lose by 30 points to the Oklahoma City Thunder in front of my home fans twice. Great. And remember, guys.
Will we ever have the story of can we believe that this play-in team won the NBA title
Here's what I was talking about this last night. Here's why I love the NBA playoffs and why NHL playoffs and maybe to another extent the MLB playoffs. To me, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, they're so random. And that could be part of the fun. Any team could feasibly win. NBA, what I do appreciate about the playoffs there is there's not a lot of randomness. The best team wins almost 9 times out of 10. So unless a team is in the play-in tournament because they spent like half the year dead or something, and then all their players come back halfway through the season and now they're like rolling, I doubt we'll see an 8 or 8 or 7 seed win. I mean, the Heat made the finals a few years ago. You know, they got stomped on by the Nuggets, but they made the finals at least.
Yeah, those guys are aberrations.
Yeah,
But that's like what I've always said. That's what's great about the NBA playoffs is the cream rises to the top.
Yeah,
those other sports you can get streaky in, especially NFL with a single game.
Right. That's why I honestly appreciate that about the NBA. I know there's some fun to randomness, right? Where can you believe this team got hot? Like their pitching staff just got hot in the last month of the year, and then they ended up winning. And you know, NHL, our goalie got hot. I don't know shit about hockey, but I know that's a thing people say.
I thought you nailed it there.
But anyways, yeah, I mean, that's what I like about the NBA. Is you almost know for certain you're going to see the two best teams at the end playing each other.
Well, and the value is in the 7-game series, right? It's always cool when someone pushes that team to 6 or 7 when you didn't see it coming.
Speaking of that, no, not speaking of 6-7. Speaking of the playoffs,
his head coach Steve Kerr might have hindered him. Are these comments?
What are you saying? Was that Rossini?
I honestly I forgot I opened up ESPN and I heard that and I was like, who the hell? Women come in here?
Are you watching Rossini again?
Yeah, just doing my film study. Dude, the more I slept on this, the more I've slept on the Lakers-Rockets thing. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's really possible. And we kind of always do this, but here's the difference.
Looking to add one
Dude,
later in the week. Lakers
ESPN,
tonight.
enough's
Reeves.
enough. We always do this with these teams that are down 3-0. Well, not always. Actually, very rarely do they even go to 6. But now it's game 6 at home for Houston. You know, that crowd sucks. But maybe they'll be a little bit into it. Maybe they'll actually try to get there on time instead of halfway through the second quarter. Houston's traffic is terrible. Yeah, we know. Traffic's terrible everywhere. Dude, you know how bad traffic is in McKinney, Texas? Every place in Texas, traffic is terrible.
Yeah, well, you know what's a super interesting conversation? A top 10 market. The traffic's bad. What? No way.
Dude, you don't have any idea how bad traffic is in Houston. No, I have plenty of idea. I live in a huge city. I know. It's horrible, and it's always horrible everywhere you go. Every big city. And by the way, I always hate when people do that. Like, I've had arguments with people, especially going to tech, when there's a bunch of people from Houston. They're like, well, you know the traffic's way worse in Houston, right? I'm like, congrats, man. I mean, what are you wanting me to say? Another feather in Houston's cap for the worst fucking city on the planet. It is. It's one of the worst ones. It is horrible. Right up there with Arlington.
Cosign.
Right up there. It is a horrible place. I mean, horrible. God bless everyone who lives there, you know, and go Rockets. We're rooting for them. But anyways, guys, try to get to the arena on time, okay? It's embarrassing when their opening tips happening and 40% of the seats are filled. Get to the stadium on time, please. Thank you. Anyways, the reason why I'm like, dude, I don't know, man, is because, again, I've said this, the Rockets should have won Game 3. Horrible, epic collapse, right? But there are some interesting stats going around. This was from Nekias Duncan, friend of the show by proxy. This was from a couple of days ago. At risk of getting booed, the Lakers per second spectrum are outperforming their expected efficiency by over 12 percentage points tops in the playoffs. The Rockets are underperforming theirs by nearly 7 percentage points worse in the playoffs. I don't ever really look at these, the shot quality stuff. You know, the shot quality charts, I remember this, said that the Mavs should have swept the Golden State Warriors during the 2022 Western Conference Finals. Then you watch those games with your eyeballs and you're like, no, they shouldn't have. They should have actually probably gotten swept. They got horribly outplayed. Right? But there is some interesting stuff in these numbers, and you're starting to see this played out. I mentioned this on my Slightly Report video, but the offensive efficiency for the Lakers in the half court over the last, throughout the course of the series has progressively gotten worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Now, Reeves, first game back last night, was not efficient from the field. Shout out to Ben Thompson. He's an absolute freak defender. Got to the free throw line a ton because he's pound for pound probably the worst grifter in the NBA, if I'm just being honest with you. And we respect grifting here. I just have to say it. But their half-court offense is getting worse and worse and worse. Meanwhile, the Rockets, who have, but despite all of their flaws as a team, despite, Alperen Şengün and all of the memes that came from him over the first couple games in the series, the horrible viral tweets, he has mayonnaise in his anus, whatever the fuck was being said, insane stuff, that was being said.
Excuse me?
That was being said on Twitter. That went viral, somebody saying that.
Can I get educated on this? What's this?
It's exactly what it is, and we don't need to go any deeper. But anyways,
sounds like we do.
No, I don't think we do. Anyways, they've won his minutes pretty comfortably over the course of the series, and they've won the Ben Thompson minutes. And last night they just go 3 deep off the bench, so they're weeding out guys who can't play. Jeff Green got burned early in the series. That's over. Jayshawn Tate got burned. That's over. Clint Capella, that's done. They're going small ball with Şengün's not out there. Amen played 46 minutes last night. I don't know. This one is possible. If this were to ever happen, and it will happen at some point, probably in the near future. If this were to ever happen, a 3-0 series comeback, what would have to be the recipe? It'd have to be team that was favorited and for whatever reason finds themselves down. Team that was favorite and finds themselves down. They, for whatever reason, whether it's an injury or just poor shooting luck, bad play, are down 3-0. And they know they're a better team and they can flip a switch, right? That, an injury in the middle of the series where a guy comes back, something like that as well, would have to be the reality. Now, the only problem for the Rockets and why, despite the fact that I look at them, I'm like, they are a better team. They're gross and disgusting, but this Houston Rockets team is a better team, just roster and talent-wise, than this dead iteration of the Lakers. And I'm not even counting Reeves like 100%, because here's the thing. What happened in the Reeves minutes last night? They were -5 in his minutes. I mean, that's not catastrophic or anything, but in a low-scoring game like this, right, -5 is kind of a big swing than it would be in like a 110, 115-point game, right? But the thing is Reeves, defensively, he's not great. And if he's not making shots, sometimes the ball gets a little sticky. And I'm not sure he's just clearly not going to be 100% at any point in the series. This Rockets team is a little bit better on paper, I would say. They have interesting ways they can exploit the weaknesses of this Lakers team. The only thing that concerns me with them is, do we really think we're going to go 4 straight games without a catastrophic Rockets offensive performance? And it's not like they've been lighting the world on fire here over the last couple games, but with that, I'm talking like a real stinker, a real bad one. I don't know. And it caught my attention the last, 5, 6, 7 minutes of the game when the offense kind of really dried up for Houston and it got down to a 3-point game. I'm not sure why they were so committed to double teaming Alperen Şengün during this game. It led to open threes. The Rockets shot 40 threes. It's not really in their bag. They didn't shoot uber efficient, but again, in a low-scoring game, taking 40 threes and then outscoring your opponent by 21 points from the three-point line goes such a long way, which is what happened in this game. The Lakers stopped doubling Şengün. They were cool with letting him post up 17 feet away from the basket, and the offense dried up. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out in Game 6. But I'm telling you, man, I follow Lakers people. They're getting a little nervous. They are, and I get it, bro. I'd get nervous too. And we don't know what the Lakers. I'm sorry, the status of like KD is. Is he going to play in one of the final 2 games of this series? He needs to. I know there's like, oh well, they might be better without KD. No, they're going to need him. This goes to a Game 7 or something on the road. They're going to need KD for sure. So we'll see. I'm rooting for chaos. I am. Either of these teams are getting absolutely blasted by OKC in the next round. Now, if you could guarantee me, like, oh, Luka comes back and is 100%. We don't know. It's a miracle. He came back. He's 100%. Reeves is good. All right, then please Lakers win. Because that at least is a series that becomes somewhat interesting. But if it's this dead Lakers team or this Rockets team, either of them are just getting blasted in round 2 by the Thunder. But it's interesting because I'm going to be real with you. The more I slept on it and thought about it, the more I'm like, I don't know, man. This feels like it could happen, honestly. ESPN has bricked my computer. What a great platform. What a great website, huh? What a great fucking website.
Is it mayonnaise or no?
Must be the mayonnaise that I was eating before on my way here. That just might have gotten clogged in the hard drive. So, anyways, shout out to the Rockets. That game tomorrow night's gonna be great. I mean, it's gonna be hilarious. I just think it's gonna be hilarious. Some of the other games across
his head coach Steve Kerr might.
They can't help themselves.
Yes, Diana.
They got to just.
They're foul, but not in.
Shut up! This isn't your show, Stephen A.
You watching the soap opera, or is that which Stephen A. show?
You know what? You're done. You are done. You're done, ESPN.
No.
Well, I'm saying that. I'm not logged in all these other ones, so it has to be them.
You know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to turn your computer down.
There you go. There you go. A couple game 6s tonight. Dude, this Timberwolves team, man. Ayo Dosunmu has now been downgraded. Dosunmu, guys, I know how to pronounce. I'm telling you, my mouth won't do it, and I'm trying. I know I'm not saying it 100%. I know when N sneaks in there. I know. I don't know why. I don't. Ayo Dosunmu. I'm telling you, it's hard for my mouth to do it. Okay.
Nobody repurpose that for anything.
Yeah, please. I'm aware I'm not saying his name correctly, and I am not doing it intentionally. Okay. Hawks Knicks game 6. A little bit surprised. 2.5 is the spread here. I just think the Knicks have looked so much better than the Hawks over the last couple of games. You know, we'll see. On the road, game 6, who knows? I mean, we're rooting for chaos. We're for sure. I mean, at least one of these teams is going to keep their season alive tonight, you would think, right? Celtics, Sixers. Again, who knows? I haven't been like blown. There are moments over this course of the series that I have been a little bit blown away by the Celtics, but not overly. I just don't know. The East feels like very right now. And then Nuggets, Timberwolves. This is an interesting conversation right here. So the Nuggets go down 3-1. Obviously, coming back down 3-1, it's happened in the NBA. It's not like incredibly rare, but it is, it doesn't happen all the time, right? If you're up 3-1, history is very much on your side. With all that being said, though, what would we view this? Take away the context of being down 3-1. Would we view this as an abject failure if they don't even complete this comeback? Like, obviously, them losing round 1 is a failure. But just zooming in a little bit more, if the Nuggets do not complete a 3-1 comeback, will we look at it and be like, how did you guys not manage to do that? Like, winning 3 straight games in the playoffs is incredibly difficult, right? Especially when you're not an overwhelming favorite. But considering all of the injuries that the Timberwolves have without their best player, they have to win this, right? It's already a failure, in my opinion. That's yeah. I think that's a fair thing to say, honestly. I think that's a fair thing to say. Wolves getting a reverse sweep is pretty plausible. Again, I wouldn't even say it's pretty plausible, dude. I think it's going to happen. Like, let's look at the odds in that series right now. I'm pretty sure the Nuggets are kind of comfortable favorites. I think they're the favorites to win the series. They are. Denver's minus 146, despite the fact they have to play a game 6 on the road tonight, facing elimination. Oh, the Lakers series is shrinking. Oh man, the Rockets are still plus 240. I'm gonna be real. That feels like too good a value. I think there's a chance that they're favorites in the next 2 games, assuming there is 2 more games. The Rockets.
I honestly can't believe the Nuggets are favored still.
I mean, I can. They've already. You just have to win. I think the idea is just have to win this one. Win game 6 tonight on the road. And I think the idea is you would be a huge, gigantic favorite at home in the Game 7.
I guess
Huge.
Minnesota has the track record, too, of Game 6. And
it's, no Anthony Edwards, no Dante DiVincenzo, potentially no Io. I mean, what's going to happen here? You need you need a Disney Channel movie moment from like 4 guys on your team tonight to win. And it would be funny. It would be funny if the Nuggets lost this. And then let's just check in on the East, where we're at. All 4 series still going in the East. How about that, huh? There's a chance, there's a serious chance that all 4 of these games all 4 of these series go 7. Right now, the Knicks are huge favorites. Again, they're not that big of favorites in tonight's game, but if they were to even lose tonight, I think they'd be such comfortable favorites at home. It's one of those things. Oh, wow. Detroit-Orlando is now a coin flip. Franz's injury is bad, man. Franz's injury is bad. I mentioned that I was worried about it on the side report last night. I was worried about it because of how fast they ruled him out, and somebody commented and said they ruled him out like an hour before the game. But the way that the initial report was worded, he was basically ruled out of last night's game almost immediately. So that worries me with his calf stuff because I honestly doubt he plays again. I mean, I don't know. The calf thing, they don't fuck around with the calf stuff, dude. This is a young player that is a corner piece of your franchise moving forward. So we'll see. But this one's basically a coin flip. Orlando still is favorites in this series, right? Philly, Boston. I'm going to guess Philly's massive favorites. Oh, my Lord, minus 2,200. Listen, I'm not a betting man, but why would you not just sprinkle a little tiny bit here on Philly? Okay, can we imagine? I can close my eyes and imagine this. Like a monster 3-point shooting game from the Sixers tonight. Now all of a sudden it's Game 7. It's Game 7 in Boston. The Celtics are bombing threes and missing them, and the crowd after every three is just like, "Oh, what the fuck are you doing?" I can close my eyes and envision that. And then Toronto, Cleveland, a huge favorite now. Which of these do we think is the likeliest to go 7? I'm going to say Detroit, Orlando, obviously. But even then, man, Detroit, like, backs against the wall, Game 5, they were in a dogfight at the end of that one with no Franz. I feel like typically you see those teams come out, guns a-blazing, it's a blowout. Boston, Philly. See, Boston, Philly to me, Boston, Philly to me seems like the one I would bank on ending tonight. But then again, I don't know because I feel like the Knicks have just figured out the Hawks. They have a huge size advantage. Run your offense through Cat. The Hawks had to resort to putting Dyson Daniels on Cat, and it worked. That Cat was very perimeter centric and barely scored the ball in game number 5, right? But they used him more as a playmaking hub, and that worked. And now you have to change up who's on Brunson. Dyson Daniels has done a great job on Jalen Brunson, but he's not guarding him anymore because you're sticking him on Cat. I feel like they've just figured out the size piece of it. It's like, we're bigger. You have no answer for Cat when he's playing like Karl-Anthony Towns. You have no answer for Mitchell Robinson off the bench at all. Tony Bradley's getting minutes. It just feels like they've figured this out a little tiny bit, right? Derek White has shot under 30% on threes and field goal this series, and Keita has been put out this series with the fouls. Yeah, I mentioned this a couple days ago, man. Like the Celtics, my pick going into the playoffs to come out the Eastern Conference. I guess I'd still ride with that, but I'm leaving this not super impressed with them and worried about their bigs for sure. Because Keita gets in foul trouble every game, and his impact hasn't really been felt at all. Vucevic is a liability defensively, although I think he's been pretty good this series on offense. And same thing can be said about Luka Garza. I don't know. You know, even a team like Cleveland, dude, with the drop the Celtics bigs like to play. I mean, Donovan Mitchell, Harden. We'll see. I feel for the Hawks to win. They have to win a close game. They never beat them in blowouts, particularly due to the half-court offense. Oh, yeah. I mean, what is it? The Hawks' 2 wins in this series are 1-point wins, and the Knicks have blown them out in their 3 games. And there's something to that, for sure. I think the Knicks are clearly a better team. I think that series is ending tonight. A little bit surprised by the spread on it. But I've been wrong about all of these. And then tomorrow night, we have 3 Game 6s. So there is a world where we have 6 Game 7s. this weekend.
That's crazy.
I mean, that would be nuts. What's the record for most Game 7s in a first round? I'd actually be interested. I feel like we've gone years without him, right? Was there a game? I feel like in the past, there's only been one or two. Were there any Game 7s last year in the first round? I'm trying to rack my brain really quick. I don't think so. Now, a couple years ago, we had Magic Cavs Game 7 in the first round. But tomorrow night, Pistons Magic. I feel like that's going 7. Cavs Raptors. I've just had this feeling that this thing might be going 7 as well.
If this Redditor is true,
they always are.
Yeah, of course. Looks like there was 5 in 2016.
Interesting.
1994, 2014, and 2016.
All had 5?
Yep.
So
Most
I tried
Game
because, you know,
7s.
that's like the peak age. That was the peak age for me where it's like everything seemed better. But that little stretch there where it was the Cleveland Cavs, LeBron Cavs, the Warriors with the Thunder before Durant left. It felt like those were just bloodbath playoffs. And then you go back and you look at it, it's like, oh, the Warriors beat everybody by 55 points a game. And we were all saying, oh, this isn't fun. This sucks. Rockets and Warriors went 7 last year. That's right. Yep. 100%. You know, I was thinking about this last night. Back then, in the 2016-2017 era, the Cavs-Warriors rivalry era, those two teams steamrolled every single opponent they played in their conference up until like 2018, when it was just LeBron and the Cavs, basically. But for a couple years there, those teams steamrolled every single opponent they played. I feel like we don't really get that anymore, do we? Why do you think that is? Are these teams, is it a little bit more balanced? Is it because of the variance in these games? Because last year I thought the Thunder are going to steamroll every team they play. They went to 2 7-game series. And even in their sweep of Phoenix, like, yeah, they took care of business, right? Don't get me wrong. But I don't know. The course of those games, it didn't feel like they completely dominated the Suns. And they did. And that's what's funny about it. That's what's funny about the Thunder. Here we go. You guys like this? That's what's funny about the Thunder is there's still levels they can tap into. That is what's scary about them.
You think they're so funny.
There are levels the Thunder can reach still. There just is.
I must issue correction because it is. So 94, 2014, 2016, to like what you're talking about right now, it was 5 series total in the whole NBA playoffs.
Oh.
We could be looking at 1 round with that amount.
Wow. Because I think, okay, so just Pistons Magic, I feel confidence going 7. Cavs Raptors, the way that series is gone, wouldn't surprise me at all if they go 7. Lakers Rockets, I think it's going to a game 7. Nuggets Timberwolves, I feel very confident is going to a game 7. Damn. Let's go. What a great weekend. Hey, Mr. Silva, you cooked. Adam De Silva, you cooked, my friend. Congratulations to you. I'm sorry for ever doubting you. You've done it again. Oh, another thing about the new lottery thing that I forgot to mention is you wouldn't be allowed to get back-to-back number 1 overall picks. Now, put your conspiracy hat on. Why would they not implement this year? Why would they wait to implement this? Something to think about. Why would they wait? Why not just do it? Why not implement this last offseason when everyone was mad at the Mavs? Why wait? I said, I don't need number 1. I'm cool with top 4. I've seen all these consensus big boards. And if you want to say Caleb Wilson, if NBA GMs like Caleb Wilson more than Cam Boozer, hey, that's cool. Mr. Silva, give me 4. That's all I need. Give me the first pick, Silva. Give me number 4. I'll walk out of here with Cam Boozer. I'll trade up. I'll get Bennett Sturts, and we'll go win some championships. Cooper Flagg, Cam Boozer, Bennett Sturts, Derek Lively. Are you kidding me? That's one of the best young cores you'll ever see. Derek Lively, we fed him steroids so he doesn't get hurt anymore.
God, he looked great yesterday, didn't he?
He was walking around without a boot, thank God.
I could just see him shooting those threes now.
True, Kyrie, who knows how many more years he has left? Maybe 10, who knows? Better young core than the Spurs or OKC? Yep. No, they're going to end up with a 9th pick. They're going to draft Nate Ament or some stupid shit, and then they'll trade the 30th pick for like a horrible veteran. That's what I'm envisioning happening. Who's like a horrible veteran that's actually sneaky terrible that might be on the trade market this year? Here you go. Here's what will happen. They'll draft Nate Ament, 9th overall, and then they'll use the 30 pick and some stupid ass sign and trade to pay Peyton Watson $30 million. There you go. There's your offseason. Sign and trade for Peyton Watson, pay him $30 million a year, and then draft Nate Ament. And I'll give it about 3 years. 3 years, and we're already talking maybe Cooper Flag trades.
Please don't leave us. Don't go to Boston.
And no, I'd be saying this. Yeah, Coop, wherever you want to go, bro. You want me to represent you? I told him not to draft Nate Ament. It's going to be so funny if Nate Ament's just like a dog in the NBA. Bring back Tyson Middleton on the MLE. Yeah. Middleton full MLE. $30 million to Peyton Watson. I love Mavs. I love fans. Fans are great. If you play on a team, the fans are just going to love you no matter what. I do love that about sports. Because if I have to see one more, bring Middleton back there, I'm like, why, dude? Like, God bless the guy. But why? If you a minimum contract, cool. Whatever, I guess. I've seen split the middle MLE, use that to bring back Chris Middleton. For what? Is this not insane? He wasn't even good. God bless him. We love him. Right? I saw one account that was just like, Klay Thompson's on his Instagram Live wearing a Mavs hat. Fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji. It's like, yeah, he's on the team.
Yeah, wow. Whoa.
He's on the roster. He plays for the team right now. He's out there. Like, yeah, it'd be kind of crazy if it was a few years ago. It's like, why is Klay wearing a Mavs hat? It's like, yeah, bro. He plays for the team.
Can you imagine how many of those he might have?
Yeah. Oh, I love it. This team's so far away, guys. I need you guys to understand that. Whenever I do all my off-season things where it's like, this guy can go, I don't think they're very close. I'm saying close to championship contention. I'm not building a team for lottery, have fun in the play-in tournament and be a fun, Phoenix Suns style team. That's great. And hopefully next year they can be something like that. I'm saying long-term outlook, they're far away. They're far away. Okay? So they need a complete overhaul. I'm not in the business of bringing back guys because they make me feel good. And maybe that next year, no. That's not what we're about.
Come on, dude. Middleton.
30th pick for there. That's it. That's it right there. 30th pick for Risache after drafting him in. Yeah, that's it. That's the Mavs offseason plan. Nate Ament 8th overall and trade 30 for Zachary Risache. Let's go, man. Let's cook. The expansion draft happened next season. Who are the 7 players you're keeping? Cooper Flag, Kyrie, Lively are like for sure safe. I mean, Max Christie I'll keep. Anybody that I think has like serious trade value or I could trade them for something, I'm keeping. But anybody whose contract I'm not really in love with and I think maybe I might struggle to find trade value for, they can go. They can get drafted. You can only lose one guy. I wouldn't be like super tied to anybody, right? But yeah. So anyways, next time we're on this show next Tuesday, we might have had 5 Game 7s. I doubt that happens, obviously, but we're trading 8 to OKC to get their 2 picks and drafting Sturts Graves. That would be incredible. That would be unbelievable if that happened. Would love that. Now, I want to look at this article really quickly here. Just because I haven't thought about the offseason really at all. I don't even know who's available. This is a Bleacher Report article. Top 10 trade targets. So I haven't really given this any thought. I have no clue who might be available for free agency, who might be a trade target. That's something that I'll dive into here, obviously, in the near future. But I'm actually interested. So Sabonis at 10. I mean, listen, if Sabonis is the 10th best trade target, feels like it might be a pretty interesting trade season. Because I've this is saying a lot coming from me, right? I feel like Sabonis has maybe gotten a little underrated in these like I could see teams being like, yeah, we'll take Sabonis. He's a floor raiser at the very least. We'll take Sabonis. And on the Raptors, I don't know, that actually kind of makes sense. I used to not be a believer in this, Sabonis to the Raptors, because this has been talked about ad nauseum. But after watching the playoffs with them, Jakob was pretty good last night, to his credit. But if you could like do this trade with Jakob being a contract that's on its way out, I would do this. I wouldn't want him on the Mavs, like, don't get me wrong. But there's a couple teams that I see and I'm like, yeah, actually, that makes some sense for Sabonis. Jakob is currently better than Sabonis. I don't know about that. Come on now. Try to think of some other teams I could see doing this. It'd have to be somewhat desperate teams. But could a team like Brooklyn, for example, who has no incentive to be bad next year because they don't have their pick, could they look at their situation and say, a floor-raising big who maybe could take some like playmaking onus off of our young guys? I could see that. I think Brooklyn's probably going to end up with somebody this offseason. Kind of surprising. Ryan Rollins. Ryan Rollins a trade guy? Really? Why would they want to do that? I mean, yeah, Ryan Rollins, if he's on the market, yeah, I'm sure several teams would line up. Why would they trade Ryan Rollins? Like, you're only somewhat interesting, somewhat young guy. And what is he, like 26? He's not even that young. But, I mean, I'd rather just keep him. Right? I mean, what's my incentive for trading him? I guess if you're just completely blowing up your roster. Michael Porter Jr., Detroit Pistons. Man, can we get the Pistons somebody who can dribble a basketball, please? All of these mock trades. Michael Porter Jr., Trey Murphy. How about somebody who can dribble the basketball? Kawhi Leonard. Please, Detroit Pistons, hear me and hear me clear. Do everything you can this summer to bring in Kawhi Leonard. If you had Kawhi Leonard on your team right now, I think you would be the clear-cut favorite to win the Eastern Conference. I know MPJ hit some crazy shots. Can they get somebody who can dribble the basketball? Please. Jared Allen. Charlotte Hornets, yeah, that would be nice. So the Jared Allen, the Cavs trade stuff is just like if they lose early in the playoffs and they're just completely and totally reshaping their team. So then what? Mobley's going to play 5? Have you guys watched this series? RJ Barrett's throwing him into the stanchion every single play. So I don't know about that. Could there be a sneaky... Okay, let me ask you guys this. You're a cutthroat NBA GM, and you want to be forward-thinking and ahead of the curve, right? Play Nico Harrison's music. Are you considering maybe a Mobley trade, sell high? What would that look like for Cleveland? Would you at least field some calls, make some calls? Okay, guys, we're kind of thinking like, what about Mobley? What about Mobley in some of these trades? I think I would. I could see, I already envision this. I actually think this might happen. Jared Allen to the Lakers in some type of LeBron sign and trade. It actually makes a ton of sense. If LeBron wants to do the retirement thing in Cleveland, the Cavs, I mean, the LeBron goes beyond basketball fit. If he wants to do that, the Cavs will make it happen. Beyond just like basketball fit, play style, like LeBron back in Cleveland for his final year, the business side of that, everything, they'll do it, clearly. This makes some sense. Of course, the Lakers would even have to attach stuff to it. And Jared Allen's a very good fit for Luka. Like that is like somebody I'd for sure be looking at. Tyler Hero. Okay. All right. Fine, I guess. Maybe the trade market's not as robust as I thought. Fine. Milwaukee Bucks. I'm assuming this is in some type of Giannis trade. How about Tyler Hero on the Pistons? I actually love that. Is that something that's been discussed at all? Tyler Hero on the Pistons makes a ton of sense. Wow, they should do that. I can't imagine his price is that high. Next to Cade, sort of off guard who can shoot and dribble. Cade's a good defensive player with some size. Tyler Hero has some decent size too. He's not like a small guy. Wow, I would love that. Pistons, get on the phone. Zion to the Suns. Sure, I guess. Whatever. The Pelicans are just steadfast that they're never trading anybody for whatever reason. But I actually think this would be a good swing for the Suns, a player like this, with your limited assets. Paolo. No way Paolo's on the trade block after this postseason run. No way. Maybe if he stunk it up in the playoffs for sure. But after the playing game and then the way he's played so far in the series, there's no way. None at all. But could be interesting. How do we feel about these type of players when we're like evaluating them and discussing their value? We know Paolo kind of was a pumpkin at times during the regular season, the big contract, all of that, but God damn it, man, the guy puts up in the playoffs. It's only been the first round, but you know what? He hoops. Does that change the evaluation of him at all? Kawhi, Golden State Warriors. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wouldn't. I still would. That team wouldn't win. I like the idea of Kawhi somewhere else a little bit more serious. The idea of like the Grandpa, Peepaw, Expendables thing, right? Where LeBron goes to the Warriors and Kawhi, yeah, that's fun. Like that is fun. That'd be fun to watch, right? The 3 games they play. But dude, can we get Kawhi somewhere that has like a serious shot of winning? One of these last couple years of him being like an elite player, somewhere that like can win for real. Detroit. Please. Makes so much sense. I can't think of a better fit. Donovan Mitchell. Is Donovan Mitchell for real a trade target? I mean, I guess, again, if Cleveland flames out, or maybe he requests a trade. Donovan Mitchell on the Rockets. Here's kind of maybe a hot take. Is that even what they need, really? A 6-foot shooting guard? Again, Detroit would make a lot of sense for this. Just trying to think of teams that have bigger guards that maybe like a guard like Donovan Mitchell makes some sense next to. Minnesota, him and Ant. Houston, I think, would kind of end up being a disaster, truthfully. And the reason why I say that is wouldn't they sort of pencil him in at the point guard role as a lead ball handler role? I don't love that. Giannis Heat. Jan, boring. I don't want Giannis to go to the Heat. It bores me. You know what? I'm kind of in on Giannis staying in Milwaukee now. Fuck it. Why not? Mitchell to the Warriors. That could be interesting. Mavs trading pick 8 for Paolo. Feels crazy saying you wouldn't do that, but I really wouldn't. Hero been on the playoffs since his rookie season too. He got the experience. I'm in on Hero to the Pistons. I just have every team going to the Pistons. Giannis to the Nets. But why, Giannis signs off on that. Why? Because it can be his team. New York team, it can be his, right? Like he can be the focal point of it. And they have, money, I think, to spend. And maybe it's just like what happened with Kyrie and KD in the late 2010s, where it's like, fuck it. We have this whole team. Like, it's a blank slate team. We can do whatever we want with it. And again, they don't have their pick, so some incentive to not be terrible at the very least. I'm just so done with the Giannis stuff, man. I even thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Whatever. Wherever he goes, he goes. And the thing is I'm trying to envision one of these teams that would go for him that's giving up an arm and a leg, presumably, to get him. And I don't even think any of them become legit championship contenders. I do not think the Heat are championship contenders. If they're trading Hero and everything else for Giannis, I don't see that team being like a legit team. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see that team matching up with some of the other teams. No way the Spurs would do it at this point. What the fuck is the fit in Houston? Makes no sense. Devin Booker on the list, quite surprising, but then again, it's going to be hard to match a $70 million contract. The thing about Book is this. He is the Phoenix Suns. They're at this stage now where it's like we're trying to build an identity. Like it's the same thing with Bam Adebayo, where it's like there's just no way. Like these guys are the identity of their team. That gets so overlooked sometimes. I think low key kind of similar with Kyrie. Where like I think Kyrie would have to demand a trade. The Mavs love him. If Kyrie demanded a trade, that's one thing. But I really don't think Kyrie's somebody that the team is just going to go out and look to shop. At least not right now. Just think there's no way. Mr. Silva. I'm just thinking right now about potentially 5 Game 7s. Hey, Mr. Silva. Tell me where you been.
You and him have had a pretty good week.
Yeah, we have, man. I'm coming to, like, me and Silva are we're on pretty good terms right now. You know, I've had my disagreements with him, but we're on pretty good terms. We're on pretty. He's cooking. I kind of, some of the lottery stuff is a little interesting to me, although I think they overall just like get rid of the draft. That would make Mrs. Silva great in my books. But potentially 5 Game 7s. Hey, Mr. Silva. And then the lottery's a week away. Tell me where you been.
That's when it all comes crashing down.
I feel in my heart of hearts for moving up. I'm sure everybody does.
It's been a good week.
How does any fan base ever just like, we're not moving up? Actually, I used to always be like that with the Mavs. Just like, we've never moved up in the history of our franchise. Why would we move up now?
Yeah, till this time last year.
And now it's come on, Mr. Silva. I wouldn't say only one more because I'm going to ask for a lot forever. But give me this. Come on, Mr. Silva. Top 4. You don't even need to give me 1. I don't need 1. Give me 4. But you want to know my actual dream scenario for the lottery? It's not getting the number 1 pick. I honestly don't even want the number 1 overall pick. Let me tell you what my dream scenario is. Okay? Because again, I'm Cam Boozer. What's the draft day scene? What the fuck was the guy's name on the sticky note? I'm Cam Boozer or bust. Or what is it? Cam Boozer no matter what. Heart emoji. That's me. Cam Boozer no matter what. So, I don't even want the first overall pick. What I want is this. Actually, I'm lying. I do want the first overall pick. And this is why. Dream scenario happens. Let's just say we do our due diligence on these things. We have the number 1 pick. Hey, I don't know. I'm just going to think of a team. Hey, Washington has 2. They love Darren Peterson. They're going DP 2, right? And hey, I don't know. I'm just going to think of a team. Brooklyn has 3, and they love Caleb Wilson. They're taking Caleb Wilson at 3. We know this for sure. The Jazz are at 4, and they want nothing more in the world than AJ DeBonza. And we're at 1. Let me make a few phone calls. We extract a haul from the Utah Jazz to move back down to 4. Draft Cam Boozer. They take AJ DeBonza. And we're just loaded with assets now. And Cam Boozer, the best player in the draft. Hey, Mr. Silva. I'd even have the number 2 pick, and then if a team wants to move up for Darren Peterson.
Vontae Mack.
That was his name?
That was it.
No matter who, no matter what. No, I think the Jazz would do that. You don't think the Jazz would move up from 4 to 1 if they had the chance? I think they would 100%. If they had a chance to get DeBonza, 100% they would do that. I think so, at least. What do you accumulate all these assets for? Jazz would be fun for AJ. They literally paid his NIL money. Oh, no, they would do it 100%. If they had a chance to go get AJ, they will do it. I'm telling you guys, that's the vision. That's the vision, guys.
Trigger
warning. I don't know. A bunch of picks. Maybe one of their young guys. I don't even really care about one of your young guys. Your young guys suck. No offense to them. I don't want any of them. Okay? Good luck paying Keontae. I don't want any piece of that. Any of these other guys, whatever. They're nothing to me. Right? They're nothing to me. Just give me your picks. Hey, you know what? Maybe I'll take a bad contract or something. I don't care. And then here we go. Boom. Cam Boozer fourth. We have a huge amount of, okay, fine. If you want to throw an ace, fine. That's fine. We'll move back. But then we'll trade up into the mid-teens. We'll draft Bennett Sturts. We'll call it a day. Maybe we take on a shitty contract. Maybe we give 30 and take on a shitty contract from a team to move into the lottery. Late lottery, mid-tens. Draft Bennett Sturts, Cam Boozer, Bennett Sturts. Mr. Silva, that's it. Mr. Silva, I'm good.
We're titling this one Hopium.
Oh man, that's all I need. I'm actually, you know what's crazy? If the Mavs get the number one pick, I'm going to be banging the drum to trade it. Just based off all these consensus boards. Like if you can move down a couple spots, I'm not saying trade back to like 8. I'm saying if a team that's in the top 4 is in love with somebody, like in love, head over heels with somebody at 1, I'm 100% cool with trading back. 100%. What happens if we're 9? We just have to get through it together. Okay, we have to get through it together and just pray every single day on our hands and knees that Nate Ament is not coming to town. God bless him, right? I hope he has a successful NBA career, but not with us. Well, if he comes here, then hopefully, yeah, he has a successful NBA career, but.
What jersey do you have to wear for 4 weeks if we get 9?
Bennett Sturts. I mean, I'm going to be making the Bennett Sturts drum. And I have to continue to say this. The reason why I'm going hard for Bennett Sturts for the Mavs is because some of the guards that will go 5 or 6 will not be there. Trade to 3 or 4 for sure. I don't want AJ stealing Coop's touches or Peterson being an injury guy. I mean, I have AJ fourth. I'm on that crop. So if you get 1, let's move down. I'm cool. I'm really cool with all 4 of them. But if you have the chance to accumulate some assets, great. I think every team should look to do that, actually. I think a smart team would look at this and be like, we want Cam Boozer. We think he's going to go 3rd. If a team wants to jump to 1, we'll let him do it. Anyways, that's it. Keep an eye out for that. Mr. Silva. Softball tonight, so no live stream tonight, but we'll be live stream tomorrow. I think I'm still going to post a video tonight because I'm going to try to catch up on all the games, if at all possible. All right, love you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I love you. Make sure you left a like. Goodbye.
Who's it gonna be? My brain's gonna explode. There's something sinister afoot, absolutely.
Security at the Haymaker Network is provided by Smith Thompson. Secure your home now at smiththompson.com.